What's going on? This is Kwame Hall, aka the Boy Genius from Talk on the Walk. I am here with Miss Pearl Stewart, the founder of the BlackCollegeWire. Today we had a journalism workshop featuring Miss Pearl Stewart. And pretty much what did you guys cover in some of the seminars that you've already had?
Well, the last couple of days that I've been here, I've talked first with the staff of the newspaper, of the student newspaper, to help them work out ways to get the paper published more often and to set up some systems for the staff. And we've talked about a lot of reporting and editing things. And then I met today with students, journalism students from the classes, from the journalism classes, and I talked to them about BlackCollegeWire and what it does and how it connects with journalism students at HBCUs. What we're trying to do is, first of all, let people know that BlackCollegeWire at BlackCollegeWire.org exists, and that we are a news service for historically black college student newspapers. We publish stories on the website from the various HBCUs about news, sports. We publish various kinds of stories, features, opinions. And
so what was the students' feedback, towards you? How did they respond towards the comments and things that you had to say?
Well, they responded very well, because what we're trying to do is get them involved.
Right.
We're trying to let them know what we do, so that if they have a story to write or an opinion that they want to express on BlackCollegeWire, we do multimedia also.
Okay.
We wanted to let them know how they could participate. So their response to that was very good, because most of them wanted to know how they could get involved and how they could submit stories to us to be published, how they could become freelance writers or contributors to BlackCollegeWire. And I also told them about our training and our internship programs that they can get involved in the summer.
Okay, once again, we're with Ms. Pearl Stewart. She's the founder of the BlackCollegeWire. Now, in 2002 is when it all happened, right? When it all the ideas came to you. Now, did it come to you in your sleep? Sometimes some of the best people, they say, man, I just woke up one time and the idea came. I mean, did somebody say build it and they'll come, or what happened?
No, it evolved from several discussions that I had with students and faculty at historically black colleges. There have been conferences going on, the HBCU student newspaper conferences that took place and still do once a year. And at some of those conferences back in 2000, 2001, students were talking about needing to have some kind of a student news service for HBCUs. News services like that exist, but they carried very little news from or about black colleges or from black college students. So we have been talking about that, and what I did at the time, I was teaching at Florida A&M University. And I had also had some grants to travel to other historically black colleges to look at their journalism programs and their student newspapers. And I had seen what was going on, so I contacted a foundation and wrote a proposal asking them to support this project that would be a student news service primarily for historically black colleges, but that would also provide an opportunity for the students who write for the student newspapers to get their stories published, and we could help the student papers. A lot of HBCU student newspapers in recent years had declined.
Right.
They weren't coming out very often, they didn't have staff, and they were on the decline. And this would, what we hoped, and it has happened, it would help to sort of reinvigorate the student press at HBCUs and to get more students involved in working on their own newspapers. And then we would then have the ability to get those stories on BlackCollegeWire and get them out to a bigger audience.
Okay, so I guess that is what triggered your idea, of leaving the professional journalism area in 1994, to cross over into teaching. Is that what motivated you to?
No,
transition?
actually, I had been a professional journalist for about 2 decades in the San Francisco Bay Area. I was an editor. I was the editor of the Oakland Tribune, the first black woman editor of a major paper. I had been a reporter for 12 years for the San Francisco Chronicle, and I had also worked as a reporter and features editor at the Tribune while I was in the Bay Area. All of this is out in the San Francisco Bay Area. And when I left the Bay Area in '94, I had the opportunity to start teaching at a university, and I was able to go back to my alma mater, Howard University, and spend a year on a grant teaching them and working with student media there. And from that point, I went to some other schools and taught mainly at Florida A&M for 4 years. I was at Xavier. And so I sort of, through the process of that, began to work a lot with the student media and with student journalists.
Right. Okay, that's perfect, because we're talking to walk, but we're to do the same type of deal where we're real interactive, you know. And
Right.
That's always a good quality, especially in, you know, this day and age.
Right.
If you're not really interactive, people don't know how to relate to you and everything like that. And just a quick note, I think earlier DJ Byrne, the guy who's behind the camera, he saw that you I don't know if you guys had a brainstorming or something, but some people developed a video game called the HBCU Football. Was that,
Yes.
were you a part of that as well?
Well, BlackCollegeWire has a very interesting story now on our website about the fact that there is a video game now related to HBCU football teams.
Right.
And we had writers from 3 different schools contribute to this article. The article was actually written by writers, let's see, from Howard, Southern, and I think one other school as well. And they reviewed the game.
Right.
You know, they actually played it, and then they were able to write about it, and all of their articles were put together into one larger piece, and that's what you see on BlackCollegeWire. And these are the kinds of stories that you might not see anywhere else.
Right.
And that's in our sports section. But we invite that kind of material, and we are constantly looking on the websites of the HBCU campuses, campus newspapers. We're looking for those kinds of stories. We also come up with our own story ideas, and we contact student journalists and say, hey, would you work on this story for us, and we need it in 2 days, or we need it in a week. And we have a little group of writers now that we can call upon, and we pay them to write for us. We sent students to Gina, Louisiana, to cover the demonstrations. They did a fine job. And so we're kind of working now as a news organization ourselves, as well as a news service, and we're, I think, helping a lot of the college newspapers improve their product, their newspapers, and their students are becoming better writers.
Okay. Well, thank you, Ms. Stewart.
Okay.
Could you just give them a quick shout out, or about the BlackCollegeWire, where they can find all the information that they need to know about?
Sure. Everything is at BlackCollegeWire.org or BlackCollegeWire.com. All the information is there. You can find out how to contact us. Our email address, bcwire@hotmail.com. You can send story ideas, anything that you might want to say to us at that email address. And we just invite students to contact us to send their story ideas. We're also about multimedia, so we're doing podcasts. Anybody who is into that and wants to put together a podcast about things that are going on their campuses, we welcome that as well.
Okay, well, thank you.
Sure.
Once again.
All right.
This is Kwame Hall, aka the Boy Genius from Talk on the Walk.